Mick, you've had to make some tough decisions today. Can you outline them?
Yeah, we got a phone call on Friday, and two or three of our sponsors who sponsor us, rang us up, and as we all know, there's a credit crunch out there, and they're being massively affected. They're big eye players, and a lot of their profits being wiped out. So that affects us. Then that affects players, and then it's a domino effect. So we, as a board, we spoke about it on Saturday when we was travelling up, and spoke to it when we was at the game on Saturday, and then again we spoke yesterday. And it's a decision that a lot of clubs would have hit it and just gone on and on and on until you would have hit a brick wall, and then suddenly your club's in administration. We've got some normal domestic bills that will be paid, and they have to be paid. And we looked at the players and we said, look, we're going to have to cut the budget by 50%. If you don't want to be here, then we're not holding you. Go and find other clubs, loans who pay you money. Haven't got a problem. But if I don't pay you on the 1st of November and you're expecting X amount of pounds, you don't get it, then what happens? So we're being up front, and that's what we've had to do. We've had to look at the global market. We've had to look at our attendances. We've had to look at our position. Are we laying 10th in the league, and could we maybe attract 2 or 3 more hundred supporters? No, right? We're also we're landlocked here, and also at the moment we're going through a feasibility study for a new stadium, and you take that in consideration, and plus the players' wages and other bits. I'm not going to put the club in jeopardy. I'm not going to put myself in jeopardy, and I'm not going to put other people in jeopardy. So what we need to do, we need to pay all our bills, like any bill. We all get a VAT bill, and inland revenue. We get lighting bills. We got to pay them. That's the world.
And is this really a matter of going 2 steps back to go 4 steps forward?
Yes, and what's got to happen is we've dealt with it straight away, whereas a lot of clubs are still going through the motion and hoping that they can get out the other end. As I say, we're in a recession. So what we've done, we've looked at it straight away, and not going to kid no one. This, as I said to you, it's not about Mick Woodward no more. This is all about Grays Athletic Football Club, and as I said, and I can tell the fans, reassuring the fans, that if we allowed it to go on, then there wouldn't have been a Grays Athletic Football Club. You know what I mean? If we allowed it to go for the next 4, 5, 6 months, then the club would have been in jeopardy, and I'm not going to allow that. So yeah, and I know I threw me dummy out a couple of months ago, but I'm on an even keel now. I've got the manager, I've got Tony on board as the chief exec, and I've had a lot clearer picture, and that's because I've got people behind the scenes, sitting down and helping me, and it's made a lot of difference.
So technically, could all the players have a look at this 50% cut and say, well, I'm off then?
Yeah, at the end of the day, what you got to realise, they're under contract, yes. So in theory, when we pay them wages, we are in breach of contract. That's a fact. But what we've done, before we get to that point, we've told them, look, if you can't be under that banner, then go and look at other clubs, yes. We can't stop you because we're being honest with you. But if you want to stay, yes, and you can come and be a part of it and get us through, then we appreciate it. Now, who's to say we may not have a decent cup run somewhere, or we come into a windfall like Michael Kylie goes in the January window. There's money that could be had, but what we got to do is be realistic. It's about the money that we have got. Yes, now we could have, you could be in a lot of trouble.
And what about the sports hub and plans for the future?
Still going forward. That's very much part in the hands of the council and us. That's a joint venture. They still very much want us to be in a new complex. We want to be in a new complex. And what you got to realise, in a new complex, it may have been a lot different because you have other financial inputs. At Grays Athletic Football Club, all we've got is turnstiles and a small bar, and that's all we got. And then if the sponsors can't pay you, then we've got nothing else. As I said to you, we're landlocked, but we looked at everything, see what we can bring in here, and there's nothing else that we can do other than what we've got at the moment, and that's why we've took this decision, and rather look at it 6 months down the road and go, sorry Grays Everly Football Club, sorry you fans, there ain't no more club.
And what do you expect the feedback to be from A, the fans, and B, the players?
The players, listen, at the end of the day, some are good players and honest players, and there's some mercenaries. You get that in all walks of life. Yes, you get it in the banking industry. You've got people who have been lost their jobs, love the club and everything, love the business, but are gone. Then you've got the big fat cats who are sitting around and creaming it, you know. But it's one of them situations. We're in it all together. I've had to be upfront. The fans, I think the fans, when I was talking to a lot of the fans, they understood, you know, that at the end of the day, it can't go on the way it has here, right? And we've got to move forward. But with this credit crunch, it's come a lot quicker than we thought. We thought that we could stay here, have another year, and then with the new facility, it would have been good. No one foreseed this credit crunch. No one foreseed this, and it's come. And what it's done, it's made us decide now to deal with it. And that's why we're dealing with it, you know. And I think there's some other clubs that should be out there looking at it, because, let's not be too proud. Let's be honest and make sure that you do things in the right fashion.
So do you think, in fact, other clubs might look at the Grays Athletic example now and think maybe that's what we should be doing?
Listen, I'm very about pride. Do you think I really want to be sitting here and saying this? Because, you know, I've got as much pride as anyone else, but we got to put pride out to one side, and we got to think about the football club, about Grays Athletic Football Club, the area, and more important than anything, we've got to think about the fans. Yes, it's about the fans, because fans stay and watch, you know, the games. You've got hardcore fans, players come and go. Yes. So we've got to make sure that there's a football club here for Grays and for the future, and that's the reason why we've done it. You know, I don't get no benefits from it. Tony don't get no benefits from it, right? The only people who get the benefits really are the players at the moment. Yeah. So we've made a decision to look at it and we're stabilising it, the club, for the fans.